Alright, start the timer. Okay, so anyways, this code looks about good to me for our bounding rectangle. So I'm going to save this as a shortcut script in my personal reference. So go over to my JavaScript folder and our snips, and we'll say new folder. Bounding rectangle, we'll call it. And then we can just call the source. We can use the shorthand name for the source file. I have a habit of making my source files for shortcuts all capital because they're kind of like canonical reference that's never ever going to be changed. So I kind of like name it in all capitals because I consider the files in a way constants, if that makes sense. You know, the constant convention of screaming snake case. So it's snake case, but it's all capitals, therefore it's screaming snake case. I'm sure there's a more professional thing to call it besides screaming snake case, but you know, that's what I call it. Okay, so let's see, full file path to clipboard, and we're gonna just put that into our shortcut script, so we'll call it new bounding rectangle. Bounding rectangle, and I'm going to check really quick, make sure that doesn't exist. Okay. Rectangle. And then JS, bounding rectangle. Bounding rectangle JS. And then we will paste this. I'm just going to make it the local file path so I don't... This file path is going to be loaded into RAM, so it's nice to, you know, keep it as short as possible within reason. Because, okay, obviously the difference right there didn't seem like much, but I mentioned that I have 250,000 shortcuts. So if I cut this in half, that's the difference, you know, between... Right, that's the order of magnitude. So that's the difference between 500,000 and 1 million. If I were to have, you know, 500,000 shortcuts. But I only have 250,000. Okay, and then a lot of times, like, to make sure I never... in Wikipedia terminology, there's this concept of, like, orphaning a page. And you also don't want to, like, orphan your memories. Like, am I really going to remember a new bounding rectangle? Am I even going to remember this? There's a chance that no, I won't. So, what we could do is we could just have a shortcut called rectangle, which we already do. So, like, if I zoom in here, if I type rectangle, we get a little kanji right there. That kanji might not mean rectangle, but it means something close enough, like within the ballpark, so that, you know, if I need a kanji shorthand in some notes somewhere, I can use that symbol to mean rectangle. If I, like, really need to, like, consolidate notes because I'm, like, running out of space in my columns. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to type rectangle, and then we're going to say pick, P-I-K for pick, and this is just going to be, like, a little prompt that's going to come up. And we're going to say rectangle, dash, and then JS or kanji. So that basically means that I'm asking the user, which is me, to either type rectangle-JS or rectangle-kanji, right? And then if we ever come up with some other thing about, let's say this video, since this video is about rectangle mapping, that I want to find the URL for where I posted this on YouTube, I might, you know, eventually say, you know, YouTube here like that. So rectangle-YouTube. But I don't have that yet, so we won't put that there. Now, this is already a shortcut, and the way I wrote my script is you can never have two identical shortcuts. So we're going to Control F and find the rectangle shortcut that already exists. And, okay, so It's down here. Sometimes I put dates, so that was 3 years ago. So I've been doing this for a while, but like I said, like I use this every day, and so I use it every day. I've been using it every day for 3 years, hence 250,000 shortcuts currently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rip out just the rect for now, and we'll just say dash kanji. A lot of times I like to be able to type it in these 3 different ways. So full word, just dash K or dash KAN, all meaning kanji. And then we'll take the Unicode value for that character and just paste it there, and then paste line. Auto hotkey is not the friendliest with Unicode, and that's why I'm using this Unicode escape sequence. The next thing is, do I really want to... I guess while I'm at it, I'm going to do the same thing with rect. So I'm going to do dash K, rect dash con, rect dash kanji, right? And then, because I am meticulous, not as meticulous as I used to be, right? I used to order all of these, right? So this is shortcut 1150. I don't order them anymore because now I tend to like to shuffle things around and reorganize them at will. And giving them a static number like this can... It's nice to be able to look at it and be like, wow, that's such a big number, but it's a lot of extra effort for not much payback, because I hardly ever hard link to a shortcut using its index like that. But I do like to make notes when I change things. You know, is there any utility in meticulously dating things? Yeah, I don't know if there is, but that's just what I do. Okay, so we got that. We'll go up into the top of the file, and we know that we did this. And we can change the syntax here, so I'll do rectangle slash rec. When I use a slash like this, I'm basically meaning that this word and this word are synonyms for each other. And when I use a bar, I mean one or the other. That's just my personal syntax. Anyways, do we even have rectangle-js in here? So we don't even have that one. So rectangle. So I'm saying rectangle.js, but I'm also saying that you can type rec.js. So both of these are now going to get that snippet for the bounding rectangle. So if I ever need to reference that later, I have it right at my fingertips. So I am probably going to come back to using this bounding rectangle because I do need it in the calculations for this problem. But right now, I don't need it. What I need to do right now is take this source code, which is also a snippet for pasting pixels to a canvas, going to the top monitor. Here's what the code on my left monitor does. It just pastes some pixels to an HTML5 canvas. We want to, before we start working on our code, we want to clean up this snippet because this snippet specifically demonstrates the slow and fast methods for setting pixels to a canvas. And it was definitely some nice code to start with, but it has a whole bunch of extra crap in it that I don't need. And so earlier I was in the process of whittling away at this and getting rid of the slow pixel setting code that's in it. And I'm basically going to turn this into a new snippet that's just used to get me a canvas and an HTML page that I can work with really quickly. So let's look at this. So we got slow test and fast test. I already got them highlighted, and the point right now is to try to get rid of any references to slow and fast test, because we just want to always use the fast way. So test type, I don't care. Alright, out of time. I'm going to stop recording and record again.